Well, hello, everybody. It's me, your host, Larry Ortega, and welcome to my inaugural podcast number one, where we're going to talk about the digital divide, how we got here, and will we get out with the proposals that the telecommunication industry currently has on the table. Before I get started, I want to dedicate this podcast to our state legislators, right? There's a lot to be learned, and I'm hopeful that this information will help you as our leaders in the state really understand where we need to be going. So, bam, the pandemic hits, yanks back the curtain on the decades-long work that the telecommunication industry had been performing in their effort to build out a world-class telecommunication infrastructure. And what do we find behind this curtain? Millions and millions of kids who were unable to connect to the internet to attend school. These kids were literally blocked from going to school because they had no internet access. The true depth of the digital divide was revealed, contradicting the shills, the industry shills, who were writing that 87% of California was now connected to the internet. A bunch of hogwash. A world-class telecommunication infrastructure is defined by the number of people that have fiber to the premises, because that is the best. World-class is the best, and the best is fiber optic. That's it. There's no other way of cutting it, right? The codification of this commingling of wireline and wireless businesses allowed the telecommunication industry to charge us a bunch of money, right? Landline customers, to build out a wireless network that we neither agreed to or received any benefit from as a landline customer. But this PU 710 said, hey man, that's cool. It also allowed the companies, the telecommunication companies, to digitally redline our communities. Black, brown, low-income communities were regularly redlined, meaning that there was no service that was going to be provided to those areas. And by law, it was going to be okay. Now, we're not trying to make the industry out to be a bad guy. I mean, a lot of my colleagues making a lot of money working for these companies, right, at different levels and in different positions. But I am saying that we must recognize that they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders to maximize profits. The industry does, right? That's what they have to do. Right now, that's not balanced against anything. It isn't balanced against consumer interests. It isn't balanced against consumer safety. It isn't balanced against fair pricing, right? So there's no balance. There's nothing to counter that. And there needs to be. It was all financially incentivized, right? That's it. And, when you don't balance this maximization of profit regime with consumer interests and consumer safety, this is what you get. So, can we trust the industry on their promises? No, right? What do we know when we give them complete dereg deference? Well, millions and millions of kids are not going to connect. That's what we know. So the industry cannot be trusted to close the digital divide. We know that for a fact, period, right? Hard stop. And we also know that their commitment to building out a world-class telecommunication infrastructure is suspect. I mean, they're presenting 5G, which is a third-rate technology. Yeah, 5G is going to be 100 times faster. Absolutely true. On a good day, right? But get this. 5G is 10,000 times slower, right, than fiber optics. 10,000 times slower. So you tell me what you would rather have, right? 5G or fiber optics. As I said, the biggest problem is not the telecommunication industry, right? The biggest problem is our state legislators not really understanding the complexity of this problem. And it's not the state legislators' fault either, right? It's, the lobbyists and all of the money. I mean, for our legislators to think that somehow giving them more deference, giving them more dereg, letting them dictate how the digital divide will be closed in this last mile, after giving us no evidence whatsoever that they should be trusted. I mean, we've met with the legislators, and there's all of them, collectively are like, well, let's just let them build that, the industry. Let's just let the industry build it, and we'll figure out the details later. I'm sorry, senators and assembly persons, please. That cake has already been baked. No way should we be trusting the industry on this issue at any level. We have to understand that children's lives have literally been turned upside down during this pandemic. Not having access to quality internet, high-speed internet, will exacerbate this problem. Now, the good news is that the governor's made a $7 billion commitment, right, to build out middle mile. The state legislators, if they have their way, right, are going to support this third-rate technology coming in as being the primary technology that we should be utilizing, when we know for a fact, right? Here's what we know about 5G. It's dangerous. It's unhealthy. It's wireless technology. So now the governor's $7 billion commitment to building out a world-class telecommunication infrastructure is at risk of being derailed by the telecom industry's bills, SB 556 and AB 537, right? Which essentially strips away all of the power that the municipalities have. We need municipal broadband. That is going to create the necessary competition that will serve to make prices lower as well as quality of service better.